have fun. Oh, are we on? Well, now I'm embarrassed.
Are you really embarrassed?
No, I don't get embarrassed.
How do we eat the good stuff though from here?
You sneak off camera. Just got to go to the door.
I should have tasted this before I got on camera.
You don't like it?
No, it's delicious.
Okay.
Actually, it's really one of the best ones.
I don't think I've tried that one.
This is the gluten American Pale Ale. Delicious.
It's like gluten. It's gluten-free.
What did I call it?
You said gluten.
But this is part of the education because I still, after all these years.
You know, I write about beer in my book. Sorry.
Wow, king of the segues. so we
wrote a book?
Yeah, that's not too obvious.
You wrote a book?
Yeah, which you haven't read yet.
All right, so Gluten Dude and Deb have invited us over for our usual drinks.
This is dude.
That's Deb.
Deb, Mrs. Dude?
Deb.
It's going to be an argument. I could just see it
Deb,
already.
dude. Deb.
And what's nice is we've got, we usually have a tequila and beer, right? So we've got our tequila and we've got our beer. So we're all set for the evening. So whatever happens with this video, it's all going to be good. No matter
Yes,
what.
and we have more tequila, just so you know.
Wine and vodka. So we're
Yeah.
well represented.
Yes.
And we've been invited
Not
over.
that we need to drink to have fun.
No, that would be irresponsible.
Yes, we do. And we have nothing but healthy food here. Ignore the food you can't see over
Yeah,
there.
the barrels of chocolate. That,
Yes,
is really
yes.
not good.
It's good for you.
But
Yes.
the really fun news is we just finished the book, so we thought we'd come over and talk to you about it. We set up a little camera to do that.
Do you have crib
I
notes?
even
like
signed it for my guest.
Do you have crib
I
notes?
know, I'm so honored.
What's the signature say?
Visit What the Day Brings on Instagram.
Wait, read it.
Plug.
Read it out loud.
This says,
You need your glasses.
yes, sorry, I wrote it.
So glad to share my journey with you.
Yes.
May the good
Force be with you.
G-free gods be good.
To
Oh,
go.
dear.
Oh.
To go! I meant good to you! Oh, man! It's supposed to say,
Edit.
so glad to share my journey with you. May the gluten-free gods be good to go.
This
I'm
is
such an
why
idiot.
he doesn't autograph the books.
I know.
All right, so
Good to go.
Practice.
That's actually not bad. May they be good to go.
you ready for some unfiltered feedback?
Oh,
Okay. Now, mind you, we've got all different levels here. I am not gluten sensitive, but I found this to be.
He's gluttonous.
I'm gluttonous, and that's a problem altogether. That's another video, actually, isn't it? But Hun, you are. What did you think of the book?
Um,
Oh, God.
Yeah, no. So it's a great read, I think, for anybody who has unfortunately had to take this journey of being gluten-free, whether you're complete celiac, gluten sensitive. But the thing I think, what I would really recommend is to give it to a loved one or a family member to help them get a better understanding of what you have gone through.
I was
good
going to
idea.
say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could probably just stop the video now, because I was going to say that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
there's nothing left to
Actually,
discuss.
really-
All right, so I was going to, I think you're totally right to give it to somebody because
Yeah, because there's just so many stories in here, and they're very heartfelt. And I think somebody who has experienced that, it's great for them to see, oh, okay, there's somebody else out there who has had to deal with what I've dealt with. I don't feel so alone.
right.
But in the same vein, to give it to somebody who has not had to be on that path or journey, it gives them an inside look
Yes.
as to what your life is like.
And by the way, we should mention that this was not paid for. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, baby!
We were not paid to say this.
Wow.
No, that is
Absolutely
not
not.
happening.
Thank you so
Oh my God.
much.
No,
There
this
you
is
go.
this is real.
I don't even know these guys,
You
by
just
the way.
stepped off camera. So this is not real. Bring the book back. So yeah, I agree with this. So one of the things I had an idea was some of the stories talk about how family members and people just don't believe, they don't support. And one of the things I said to Gluten Dude was, hey, the holidays are coming up. This is a really tough time. Hey.
Yeah, it gets really
I said,
difficult.
Gluten Dude. No, we haven't even had one drink yet. But what an amazing gift to give out to somebody, because to try to build up the sensitivities and the understanding, the empathy that people really need during the holidays, because it is, unfortunately, or maybe even fortunately, food-centered holidays.
Always.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think about that idea?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, that's honest.
Yeah, I didn't even write the book, so I'm just.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Let me-
ghosted by
let me-
someone.
It sure looks like you on the cover. I don't know.
Oh, this is a good book. So no, there's a whole.
Were you really naked?
Mrs. Dew took 50 or 60 pictures of me.
I wanted to put in the back all
Yeah,
the
outtakes.
outtakes.
Would've been
I was
Would've been
wearing
home.
I was wearing skivvies because
The outtakes were
we shot
fun.
outside. That is shot.
That would have been fun.
That was shot outside. The rest of them were shot here. And out of 60 pictures, I had one that was usable.
But it
and
was
that's
fun. I
it.
should have done the outtakes.
Was it true that there was a back cover that showed you?
The bum.
Yeah.
The bum.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, Amazon wouldn't approve it. Just
Are you kidding?
It was just my ass on the
Yeah.
back cover. Just my
Was it
big.
really?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's when the book was going to be called From Happy to Crappy.
Happy.
Turned to crappy, yeah.
So
Scratch
there was a
and
whole, and again, I'm not pimping my book here, by the way, but it's kind of fun to do this. So there's a whole section on
you wrote a book?
on relationships, and it's, I think Danny said that was one of her most eye-opening chapters that she read, because it's a very misunderstood disease, as the hundreds of people who've emailed me have explained to me. So thankfully, my family and friends are ungodly supportive,
Amazing.
but know a lot of people out there don't have the support.
hate that.
And because it's a food-based disease, they just think
And kids that get bullied at school.
the kids get bullied at school.
Yeah.
So we all know there's this whole thing about celiac where it's kind of like a suck it up disease, or it's only food, or if I had to give up gluten, I'd die. It's not that big of a deal of a disease. It's challenging, but if your family's not on board, it makes it 1,000 times more difficult, and your friends. So I've had zero issues. I'm blessed.
You are blessed.
Oh, I didn't see that coming. I'm a little uncomfortable. That's really well said.
Yeah.
There's something very authentic about it. I think that's one of the things that, I mean, I've known you for, at least 2 months.
Too long. Way too long.
So in the 2 months that I've known him,
No.
um,
How long
he
have
actually,
we
he actually
known
has
you?
he actually has an article in the book.
it's not the best article.
What page? Like,
243. I think.
are you kidding?
No, I think it's 243.
Oh.
No, but seriously, it comes across as very authentic. I think there are so many of these that seem to patronize people, and they patronize certain brands and things like that in an overt way.
I don't do that a lot. It's just-
No, but the reality is, it does come across in a very. You can hear your voice through the pages, which I think is unique.
The snarkiness.
Are you really looking for my article? In there?
Yes. Do you
it's,
know what-
it's called How to Be Friends with a Celiac.
Yeah, it was. So, quick story.
Yeah.
No.
Basically, I think when the understanding of celiac was so foreign to me that I tended to brand Scott with that. So he was identified to me as the guy with celiac. So I was almost overtly
Yeah.
careful about food and things like that. How to survive being a friend of celiac.
get more
Oh, it's
friends.
204, page 204. You know what? I wouldn't even. Do you need to get by the book or just buy the article? I don't.
You
Buy
can,
the book.
no, buy the book, please.
But it slowly faded away. It wasn't about food. It was still about the friendship. And
Well, you guys said the first time we came to your house, again, we were friends with these guys a long time ago.
Yeah.
Lost contact for 5 years? 6 years? Well, they moved, we moved,
yeah,
blah,
we
blah,
were a
blah,
witness
blah.
protection program, but
And then all of a
Tried to
sudden,
lose them, but we couldn't.
all's good.
all of a sudden, we realized we were living in the same town again.
Yeah.
A different town than we were living in before.
Yeah.
Ironic. And the first time they had us over, she went all out.
Bread bowls and
No, she went all out to have snacks and food that she thought were safe. And I don't think I could eat anything because we
That's
didn't know
right.
if they were safe.
Yeah.
A for effort, but ever since
I've
that,
certainly learned a lot
Right.
since we've reconnected.
ever
for
since
sure.
then,
Yeah.
it's been no issue having you guys here, us going there, and now
Yeah.
that she's my gluten-free bestie,
yeah.
Yeah.
non-celiac, but
Because I live in a gluten-free home, I become, even though I can eat gluten without the issues, I've become almost gluten-free in my life because I do actually feel better. So
have you lost weight? Because
That's
that's why I do it.
no, the
That's weird.
surgeries definitely help.
Yeah, liposuction.
Bariatric.
No, but I think also the one thing I really like, and I think you talk about this in the book, is just eating healthy. It doesn't have to be like
Gluten-free doesn't mean
No.
it's healthy.
right.
foods.
No, there's a lot of
That's a
gluten-free
big
foods
aha.
that are not healthy. So
That's
I mean,
right.
eating just real foods. Real fruit, vegetables, meats, fish, all these things. And that's the way I think most people should be eating. Nobody should be going to McDonald's. Nobody should be going, to these.
So I
Places.
follow a
McDonald's.
couple of celiac support groups on
No, it's
Facebook, and half the posts are like, "Look what I found," or "Can I this?" And it's funfetti, it's McDonald's fries,
Oh,
it's, and I'm not knocking people.
Right.
Maybe I am. I'm not knocking people for what they eat,
Yeah.
But if you're not healing, that's why
Right.
you're
so
not
there's a
healing.
different. You can't judge what someone else is doing, but if you're not feeling well,
Right.
then you need to figure out what the source is, and it
Right.
clearly is what you put in your body is going to
Yeah.
affect how you're feeling.
So my
So if you're going to make those choices, then unfortunately you're going to deal with
Yeah.
what it does to your body.
my most popular
So-
post. I'm interrupting. I'm
I
sorry.
know, I'm sorry. But
Yeah.
when you first were diagnosed, we met with a dietitian, and
What is happening?
Stretching.
I don't think she guided us in the right way. So unfortunately, in the beginning, we substituted so much with.
Isn't that interesting?
Look, doctors
Yeah.
don't know, dietitians don't know. Not to look. You,
Again, I'm interrupting.
you get diagnosed with celiac disease, and everyone does what I do. You go to ShopRite, Wegmans, Pathmark, area stores, and you find the gluten-free aisle, and you buy
what we
chips
did.
and
We
cookies
had no
and
idea.
frozen
Well, to
pizzas
substitute
and
all the things
and
that-
breads
yeah.
and this and that, and 95% of it was just garbage. So I wrote a post years ago called "Stop Eating Gluten-Free Food," which generated a lot of interest and angst and whatever. But I got healthy when I stopped eating gluten-free
Which
food.
it wasn't an easy. It took you a long time to get there.
Yeah, it took me years to get
I
there.
mean, okay, let's be honest. How long did it take you to give up dairy?
A couple hours,
Oh wow.
couple days,
No.
Took me 30 days.
couple months,
No, stop.
couple years. So we never fight. But we were at a diner one morning. We were at Moisnitzy. Yes, we were.
Oh.
And I ordered coffee. And I wasn't feeling well, as always. And I ordered coffee and I put cream in it. And and she just, and that was it. That was the last straw. And she actually walked out of the restaurant.
Who did?
I don't remember this.
Yeah. Oh, you were angry.
Wow.
You're
You
very,
were
you're very
angry.
protective
Yeah.
I am.
of Scott's health.
Of all my people.
Wow.
Oh! Your name is Scott? Oh my God!
that was-
Your name is. Oh
Can I tell you
God,
something?
it's
That was
so
such a
to
nice
finally
story. We've
know
got to.
your name.
Will you guys tell that story again?
Oh no! I never knew his name. Now I know. Sorry. Who cares?
So wait
Hold on a sec. Hold on a sec.
Oh, stop it!
I'm
No,
sorry, it's so unnatural
Who
for you.
cares?
I kept saying, I give up enough. But I wasn't feeling well. And she's like, you got to keep trying. That was the last time my dairy was that morning.
Wow.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
So, and by the way, if you're not feeling well, give up dairy.
Dairy's hard. Dairy's
So
really
you know my
hard.
dairy story?
That's what she said.
So my dairy story is I went in the Whole30 and I was pretty religious about it. And obviously you give up dairy on Whole30. And other than a little bit of like things here and there, but for the most part, I've given up dairy. So
Since then.
since my Whole30, which was a while ago, when I have introduced a little bit of dairy here and there, I immediately don't feel well.
Really?
Yeah, and I know this is not a
You know what your body is telling you then?
that I'm Jewish.
Don't eat dairy.
That you're Jewish. Yes.
You're definitely not a cow.
You've got spuckus.
Spilkus and the Nochas. Not Tochas,
So
but
if
You're
by
No.
giving it up, and if you go back to it, that means your body cannot tolerate it.
you know what I've replaced dairy with?
What?
Not-
Bone broth. No,
Yay! That's so good for
It's
you.
not.
It is.
It's.
Stop.
You didn't read the latest on bone broth?
What?
I feel like seriously.
No. Stop it. It's so good. You make your homemade chicken soup.
Do we have a Dutch oven? Dutch oven. What are they called?
A Dutch.
Wow.
We're not. We are not even one drink in, folks.
I threw my.
All right, this is just us.
So I just want to say one thing though about
Is this critical?
No. Well, no.
Oh, God.
So you talked about don't buy any gluten-free food. I have to slightly disagree with that, just slightly, because there
Ooh.
are ones. Read your labels. I cannot stress that enough. Read your labels.
Who's she
There are
talking
some
to?
out there that I don't know. There's
Actually, no one
somebody
over there.
But you read your labels, and there are some gluten-free products. If you read your labels, they're not bad at all. Like there can be, like I've seen things with 3 ingredients in it, and it's all whole real things.
Yes. When I say gluten-free foods, I'm talking replacement foods. I'm talking the crappy pizza, the unhealthy breads.
Can we name names? Udis. Wow.
Yeah, you were there.
One sponsor? Good.
Sponsor. There goes our college fund.
Yeah, no, listen, I'm not saying if it says gluten-free, don't buy it. I'm talking the unhealthy replacement foods. And I'm not talking absolute either. I will...
If you drink tea.
We have cookies. We had company. She's gluten-free, so we bought Pamela's cookies. We usually buy Tate's. Couldn't find it. Just for
And I didn't have time to bake.
yeah, she usually bakes really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not an absolute thing. My own thing is listen to your body. Always listen to your body. And if you're healing or you're healed and you're eating out a lot or unhealthy foods, do what you want.
Can I ask you a question based on that?
Maybe.
Are there any chain restaurants that have the appreciation enough for all of this to make a safe haven for anybody?
We don't know that.
Chain, not
we don't
locals. I know
really
there's
have
always
that.
locals.
Well, no, I know
don't know
I know the facts. So
I mean, besides Waffle House.
Lots. And
Jules, that's not a chain though.
no, that's a
Oh,
local
so we
chain.
we don't know any chains.
No, by note, Chick-fil-A has. Let me finish. Chick-fil-A
Yeah.
has a gluten-free chicken sandwich where the bun is separate.
Okay.
But again, here's my thing.
Oh.
If you go to a chain restaurant, especially a fast food restaurant, there are kids serving your food who don't really
Yeah.
care about
Yep.
what they're doing, and or they're in the kitchen, or they're bringing. So anytime, look, we all know anytime you go out to eat, let's say a gluten-free restaurant, you're taking a chance. But if you go to a chain restaurant, or especially a fast food restaurant,
Be careful.
You're taking a major risk, and I always say it's risk reward.
But I have to say, any restaurant you go to, I think you take a chance. We take a chance in our own kitchen because
Well,
anytime
That's
you
a great
eat,
point. So
I'm sorry.
So I'll just talk from an outsider's standpoint. When I come here, I know that there's certain glasses of different sizes. That's his. This is mine. There's different scoops and things like that. Because
Ice.
even though I've washed my hands, I may have
never
had
know.
gluten
It could
today.
be-
You never know. So no one in a restaurant is going to take that type of precaution. However, there are some restaurants. We have a
Yes.
local restaurant that's setting up right now called Harvest that actually have different. Totally different. They actually should be a sponsor. Different.
I can't wait to go there.
Preparation areas. Entirely different preparation
Have you eaten
areas.
And again, I know a lot of you
Yeah.
will say if it's not a gluten-free restaurant, you're still risking, and I
True.
actually agree. But I also say, how do I put this? We have to live, and I'm not saying to take risks, but I'm not saying don't live in fear either. That's always my big thing too. Gluten is not everywhere. Gluten is not in everything. If you do your due diligence, if you're just reading labels, being very careful at restaurants. I hate to say it, but the better restaurants will take better care of you.
Yeah.
You just don't live in fear.
We just found a new restaurant not far from where we all live, where the owner has celiac. So the entire wait staff has been educated on celiac. They serve different pots of butter because there's the gluten-free bread and then there's the gluten bread. I'm just so careful and they're so
so
thoughtful.
called Black Bass.
Black Bass,
in what town?
amazing.
It was
Lumberville?
Lumbertville, very good, sweetie.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And he didn't get
It's called lamb.
Oh, and he didn't get sick.
no.
That one's Lumberville.
No. So I had I had a lobster crab meat martini
You
Yeah.
had such a nice time.
with plantain chips and corn chips. I don't eat a lot of corn, by the way, but
Oh, it has tostones, I think, which is made from plantains.
yes. And then we had a mahi. So good they named it twice. With what was the
Macadamia nut crust.
Oh,
Yes.
and it was breaded too. So good.
It wasn't, and it was delicious.
It was good.
And you don't miss it.
No. That's the thing. I don't.
Wait, I have a question for you. I have a question for you.
You weren't supposed to
What's your most prevalent food dream? A lot of celiac patients have
Oh,
food
that's a great
dreams.
question.
It's always the same thing.
ahead.
I'm
I'm gonna stand like you while you tell me.
I'm eating gluten. And
But what in particular?
that's a good question.
I thought you had pizza dreams.
It could be pizza, it
And
could be
beer.
bread, it could
You're
be
drinking a beer.
crackers, could be a beer, and I put it in my mouth and I panic,
Wow.
and I can't spit it out fast enough, and I'm thinking I can't enjoy gluten in my dreams, which actually
Yeah.
really frustrates me. One time I dreamed that I was at an expo,
Right.
and it was a gluten-free expo, and I tasted something, which you really should,
Okay.
whole different story.
Yeah.
Be careful.
And the dream was that I tasted the wrong thing. There was
Oh,
gluten in it.
no.
And again, and my mouth was like out to here, and you're trying to. This is a dream. You're trying to spit it up and this and that, and so that's the prevalent dream.
Wow.
And plus, I'm bartending, and everyone keeps coming in. It's 2:00 in the morning. I still have that dream too. And I dream I'm catching a football, and I hit Mrs. Dude a lot. I have that dream a lot too.
Okay, well,
So I have a dream where I'm naked on the throne and people are throwing pickle chips at me.
really?
But I don't have celiac, so
Pickle chips.
pickle chips, yeah.
Which
So
would be
it's-
gluten free.
Which are gluten free.
That's it.
See?
Cured.
It all,
Whatever that
it all
means.
comes around.
Sorry. Deb, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Living, not coexisting, not, having somebody with celiac, but living with this, what has this been like for you?
Oh gosh, we're how many years in? 8?
I want to say 8 or 9. It was either 2007. Let's see. It was cancer. It was
That's not the
pulmonary
question.
embolisms,
It's not
and it
the-
was
it's not
celiac
the
in a year and a
question.
half. Well, no, because I always that's the calendar. I always forget which one came first. Let's call it 9 years.
In the beginning, we were very, very spontaneous couple. Let's just, let's go here, let's go there, let's walk, let's just find.
We went
things.
here and there a lot.
I mourn that. I mourn just being able to let's go walking in the city, and let's just eat here. So it became so much planning and everything. So life is busy enough, and then you've got to make sure your kitchen is safe, your home is safe, everywhere we eat is safe. People are kind enough, they want to cook for you, but can they really cook for you safely? So it became, I used to joke, I used to bring what I called a diaper bag, because it was, and then we would travel, and it's cooking, and it's bringing, and making sure there's a refrigerator or a microwave in the,
So we went to a bar
Hotel.
mitzvah. Mazel tov, Mitchell. But no, but this is.
he was asking how you are always talking.
This is a moment for her.
Well, I'm
No,
going to
it's
ask you a
never-
question following up.
Oh, okay.
No, I wasn't done answering his question. He asked me. Now I forget the question. You know what? We don't need you in this video.
But it's like living.
Yeah. So anyway, who? No. So so in the beginning it was definitely overwhelming. I took my mom. We went to a store. We bought separate set of dishes, so they'd be completely gluten free. Everything was red, and No, I'm not answering you. No, put your hand down.
It's important.
No, I don't want to talk to you.
It's educational.
What?
We didn't buy dishes because dishes go in the dishwasher. It's fine. Yeah.
I meant pots and pans, things that may not go in the dishwasher, colanders, a new toaster, things like that.
Yes.
So yes, I'm sorry. So I want to be specific. Different sponge to watch. So it was definitely an educational process, and now our kitchen is completely gluten free. But when we had the kids and they would bring their friends over, and we'd have parties for the kids, it was mixed. So it was a lot, but it kind of becomes
Your wife.
it becomes your life. And we felt really alone in this process. And I think that's where Gluten Dude started, because originally 8 years ago, if you looked online for gluten-free, it was all just make these cupcakes, and
All
it was all
recipes.
recipes and happy. And Dude was like, I don't feel good if I eat this.
Yeah.
Meaning I can't just eat this way and I'm happy and I feel good. It was still a process, and we felt very alone and everything. So that's when finally he felt like, I have to start Gluten Dude, and we did this kind of together and talking that if I put my voice out there, a frustration of all this, then
I have a small follow-up question, because
Yeah.
I think
You
people would
just
be
so
interested.
interrupted.
But it just needs to flesh something out. So you've been part of the side effect of him being gluten, as we've come to call it. But you also have a huge heart, and you want your family, loved ones, especially Scott, to be healthy. What's worse, living with him, or the fact that he's feeling ill?
Living with
Is it
me
the
is
side effect and the anger and is that worse?
oh gosh,
More-
when he gets glutened, usually hits him, and we know 2 days later, which is weird. It just, for some reason, we figured out it's 2 days later. It affects him it affects him emotionally. He's not typically an angry person. He gets really angry and mean, and
I yell at my dogs a lot.
he yells, and
I know.
yeah, and he's not typically a yeller, and
Sorry, guys.
and the girls, he's never been that type of dad where he yells. So it's scary. It's he becomes really irritable and mean, and doesn't feel well, and sleeps for like an unreasonable amount of time.
I am the Incredible Hulk. I just realized that.
No.
Or the
So-
antithesis, as I'm reading it.
Well.
So I have to say,
Jekyll and
so
Hyde.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to toast. Is that it?
yes,
Oh, you picked up.
Yeah, no.
To,
No, so
side
being
effects.
gluten, so
Yeah, to being
living
gluten.
with this alternative personality was so hard that I made
Jekyll
a
and
mission.
Hyde. That's what it sounds like
It was
almost.
awful. It
And,
was so
and I'm not
bad.
sure if it's always getting gluten, by the way, because again, I've had this for 9 years. I know for a fact I've gotten gluten once. The story's in my book.
No,
I think it's 203, page 203.
it was.
Dave wrote about it.
It was gluten.
No, I know that.
No,
was.
I know the signs of you being gluten, and I'm just saying I will lay down my life to make sure you don't get gluten.
She does.
Almost obnoxiously, because
I step on her all the time.
unfortunately, I'm the one who has to then live with him. The girls had to live with him. They're now off of college, but it's. Sorry, I was going to sit down. I'm tired. No, I'm
Oh,
just-
are you tired? I'm
No, I'm
sorry.
just kidding.
I just want you to be lit so
Yeah, yeah.
perfectly.
No, so I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's important.
Well, I've always said it's not celiac is not it's not just about you. It's about everyone around you, which is actually
Yeah.
pretty annoying. It's about the food they have to serve, the effects of like you said. I wrote a post called "Instant Asshole." Just add gluten. Yeah, which did not. Or did that make the book?
I don't remember.
I didn't read the
reading that.
book.
I don't remember.
I'm gonna
reading
read it.
that.
I must have. She hasn't read the book, by the way. Actually,
Wait, have you read,
I'm busy. I'm cooking.
Have
she
you-
didn't know I had a blog, by the way. She had no idea.
I knew you.
have
had
you
a
read
blog.
any of the book?
I read his
The forward?
the forward.
Go sit down right now.
Did you read page 203?
Go sit in the corner.
No, I will read it.
Yeah.
I don't have a copy.
Well, you feel like you've lived it, so you're in the pages
Did you
itself.
did you give me a copy? No, this
But-
is not my copy.
It's over
your-
there.
But-
it's your copy. I don't have a book.
But Mrs.
Dude.
Mrs. Dude.
There's
Mrs.
also a
Dude.
digital copy you could download. So
I will read it.
You-
Can I ask you a
Like,
question?
on your e-reader.
Is it? Don't you want to hear at least how he talks about you amongst the pages?
I mention you a lot.
This will last a lot longer than any of us here.
something that you wrote is in there too.
I know. Oh God.
And that beautiful picture of you.
All right, I'll read it.
Your post was "I never knew" by Mrs. Dude.
Yes, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
There's certain things. If I actually did reread that post, and it's funny how I would change it X many years later. There's different.
Oh,
things.
you would?
Yeah,
Yeah, but there were things at that time that were.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So you want to write another one?
No,
Oh.
Another guest column.
Come on.
I think we need to have another guest blogger because
That's actually a good call.
when our friend Danielle here. So tell us about what made you become gluten free. And this is where I think you'd become. You're not a celiac, but I think Danny would be a good.
Have you been
guest blogger.
tested?
I've never been tested.
You can't now.
She
though.
might be a celiac.
Well, I have 2 other autoimmune diseases already.
Oh.
So
You could have celiac.
potentially, I never
Can I
know
ask?
myself.
What are they?
Sure, rosacea and Raynaud's.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But you knew that.
It gets better
Fascinating,
though. Keep going.
Oh, sorry.
Interesting to them.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
But
Sorry.
yeah,
Not
I
that
just,
there was a camera there. I'm just saying, very interesting.
No camera, that's an individual.
Yes.
very often I would say, like, after having, say, like, beer and pizza or some sort of heavy gluten-filled meal, I would always say, I feel like I have a rock in my stomach.
Yeah.
And I would be, like, agonized all night. I have a rock in my stomach.
Not the wrestler.
Stomach hurts.
Just putting it-
Right. And I would just be
Oh, boy.
boiling hot, sweating all night. I guess my body was trying to
that's
get rid of it. Can't seriously.
Glistening, not sweating. She doesn't really sweat. She glistens. It's a huge difference.
And just from actually knowing you, I thought, gee, I wonder. I felt maybe it was food related. I wasn't sure, and I thought, let me try cutting out gluten. Let me see how I feel. And the rock in my stomach is gone, and I don't have those problems at night anymore.
Could
Yes,
you
you-
have celiac?
Have your other symptoms lessened at all, or no?
rosacea.
Autoimmune systems.
Oh, autoimmune.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
I think my rosacea has definitely gotten better. I
Yeah,
don't
how do you
flush
hear?
as much. Yeah, for sure. I don't flush as much as I
Nasty.
did.
The house.
Your skin got better.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Less flatulence.
I mean,
There's,
the Raynaud's.
Unless you come to our house for bean pasta.
Oh, the bean pasta.
yeah. Can we
That was
just, can we,
fun.
can we,
Wait,
can we
we
give a
delete
public
that post?
Can we give a public service announcement about bean pasta? Do it if you're single and alone and living with cats, preferably 3 cats instead of 2. And if you want the cats to eat you, That's all. I mean,
It's really good, but
It's-
So
It
good, but it
was-
makes
Yeah.
you a little farty.
it's
Yeah,
nice to
yummy,
toss it
but-
down with some bone broth.
We had the symphony that evening.
But it's interesting, and now you can't be tested for celiac. But I wonder if
Why
you have
can't?
it.
I would have
One
to go
zero gluten. She would have to eat
About
gluten
6
for 3
weeks.
weeks.
Oh, God, it would
Yeah,
kill you.
it
which
did.
I don't want to go back
No.
to.
Actually, however, when we were in Europe, in
Yeah,
Germany, and I don't
that's
know if it's the
true.
way, this is a whole controversial thing, the way they treat their crops or
Yes.
treat their wheat or whatever it is, you did eat cake.
I did have cake.
You had beer.
Yeah, in
You were
Austria.
not crippled.
Wow.
It was
I
the
felt
strangest
fine.
thing.
you say American food chain might be unhealthy? Get out of here. There's just no way.
Not the school food.
Yeah, I
Anymore.
think we poison our
Oh.
food for sure.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, we do, especially the stuff.
Have you ever volunteered in a cafeteria in an elementary school?
Is that a thing? Can you really do that?
Well, no,
Slash,
you
why
can't.
would you do
no,
that?
You can't.
First of all, I can't
Okay,
be.
you can't because they have a.
I can't
you
be
have a
within
restraining
500
order.
feet. Yeah, 500 feet. No, it's 500 feet or 500 yards.
Those schools are
At least I'm not allowed to wear
I
clown
volunteered
makeup.
a few years ago in the elementary school when Maddie was in elementary school. Oh my God, she's in college now. That was wonderful.
That's
Sorry.
dudette number 2, by the way.
She's 12.
Also,
Yeah, you guys are just.
She wrote a post on
That's
the wall.
right. She did. She did put a
When she
little
was
article.
12.
Yeah.
I think it's page
Anyway.
203.
It is. Everything's
I have to
It's only
say
one page of the
that
book, by the
if
way.
you see what is in the cafeterias, what they're selling, and what the lunch
my
boxes
God.
look like, it was really gross.
Yeah.
And then they had this
But
big,
God forbid you
big
try to fix it.
beautiful basket of apples, and I'm like, what? What kid would want an apple? I wouldn't take an apple if I was a kid.
But what do kids do that
Other
have
countries,
celiac?
Can
they
you
enjoy the apple.
I understand that, but can you maybe cut them and we can dip them in
What do kids that have celiac
peanut butter?
do
No,
about?
peanut butter.
Alright, no, peanut butter's
I'm
okay.
just kidding.
No, peanut butter's
There's
Protein.
some
I was
peanut
just
allergies.
I know
that
you can't
was-
do that.
Oh,
Peanut
yes,
allergies.
yes, yes.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
Can't do it.
I don't know. If I was a kid, I probably wouldn't be grabbing an apple either. Can you slice it?
Can I listen? I did well.
Make it more- I don't-
It's you're ingrained that if you're brought up on sweets, you don't want an apple. If you're
No.
brought up on eating healthy, you'll want an apple.
No, but it was when
No,
you.
you're absolutely
But I
right.
guess what I'm trying to get across is it was your French fries with cheese sauce
Oh,
and
sorry,
pizza
honey.
and all these kind of processed foods, and then they had a basket of apples. So, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you.
What? Is that wrong?
That's wrong. We don't want to be right. It's an IV drip. There's a vein. Awful.
No, but I think
This is for
you
kids.
touched on something that I think if kids learn early on, and if it can't come from the home, which I understand people who have busy lives, I think we need more at an early age for education, teaching kids, healthy food is actually, it tastes good and it's good for you and you'll feel better and we'll have less diabetes and high blood pressure.
gosh.
I mean, there's little kids
You know what?
with
My-
diabetes and
Can I
high
add
blood
one thing
pressure.
to that
It's
besides the education of good food?
Put your hand up.
Is the acceptance and tolerance of people with different dietary habits.
Yes.
Because a lot of kids get ridiculed. It's not just for
course they
celiac, but for peanut allergies, chocolate. I have an allergy, for example, to broken glass. And I cannot tell you how much I'm teased.
Does it hurt, or just you're actually allergic to it?
I cannot swallow broken
My
glass.
little girls
That's difficult.
that I now take care of,
Yes.
who are
Shouldn't have
3 and
followed
4,
that
they are amazing, and they
Because they
don't.
can eat broken glass.
They eat fruits and vegetables and lean proteins, and there is no processed anything, and they eat all. What? You're always raising.
I feel like you're in a classroom.
Well, I'm being
'Cause you're
accused of
so used-
interrupting a lot.
You do interrupt a lot.
It's also a financial thing too. Unfortunately, unhealthy food is ungodly cheap, and
That's
healthy
true.
food is expensive.
That is true.
That's true.
So does
So-
everybody know the diagram of the grocery store? And this is a real thing. Any grocery store, if you walk on the outskirts, it's usually the healthier food. On the interior, it's usually the Twinkies, the Ho-Hos, and
Wait, so what do they call it? They call it something where the outside is unhealthy, inside.
a healthy perimeter. They
No,
call
no,
it-
there's
I'm
actually.
sorry. You buy a bunch of bananas. We bought a bunch. We went to the grocery store and we bought bananas, and I spent less than $20, and I bought.
Yeah, I mean, you can be a smart shopper.
it
Just
is
be
smart shopper.
It is more expensive to eat healthy. It just
Yes,
is.
but if
It
you're a
just is.
smart consumer, you can figure it out. You can.
Yes.
You don't need to eat at Whole Foods.
You don't have to, but the prices have come down.
That's right.
Amazon.
Have they, though?
We went last week. Their prices have significantly.
On some of the things.
Well, yeah, I mean, yes.
And if
We're going to
you're,
lose the Amazon account, by the way.
no, if you're an
I take-
Amazon
Another
Prime member,
sponsor.
you're going to get an extra discount. So I have
Right.
to say their prices.
Alexa, shut up.
They give a discount for
Alexa,
Amazon Prime members.
it wasn't in ours. It wasn't
Yeah.
retro. It wasn't active yet. But I'm just saying, you know,
It can be done, but it is.
Yeah.
It's more time consuming.
yes. But they're,
Unfortunately, it's a little more expensive. Unfortunately,
we have
but-
a college student who pays
but
for
it's
her
worth
own-
it.
Oh, I
Well,
just
now hold on. So you're talking about it's more expensive to eat healthy, but
That's
I
right,
think
yeah.
if you're spending more money on doctors and
Right.
Good call.
medicine and
Oh my gosh.
being unhealthy and all this
Yeah.
other stuff,
Good
that's
point.
more costly, not just
Good point.
monetarily, but emotionally and psychologically.
That's such a good point.
That
The cost of living unhealthy.
That is such
Yeah.
a
Deb-
phenomenal point. So long
That's
run,
actually Danny.
I think Deb,
I'm Deb.
I was
Oh,
saying
sorry.
Deb and Danielle should have their own video blog. Honestly, you got the two of you should have, because you have the experiences of living and you have the experiences
I'll do a
of
blog
having.
post by that. That
Okay,
is such a good call.
no. I think you should interview Danny.
Thelma and Louise.
Which one's Danny again? Sorry.
No, that is such a good point.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, think about how unhealthy Americans are and what it's doing to strain on our system.
So
You know?
true.
I have a question.
Medical system and-
I have a
You gotta
question.
raise
How
your
much it
hand. You gotta raise your
costs.
hand.
Yeah, I feel like I do.
Costs
Right.
is
All right.
phenomenal.
Wait,
Quick
Dave.
question.
Yes.
So you did the book. Everybody wanted something tactile to feel and love, and this was important. Is there a follow up? Is there a crappy two? The dirtiness of the crappiness.
So I get about, and thank you for asking.
I'm just asking.
I get about, I'd say 6 emails a day from people asking for advice and guidance and help.
It's because I enter hit 5 times. Sorry.
David, stop emailing me.
I apologize.
David, stop emailing me. I'd say right now about 1,000 emails in my inbox that I've read, and I haven't responded to all of them yet, and I really try to. But
But you've read them all.
I do read every one of them,
And
absolutely.
he shares so many.
And I always say, oh my God, I'm going to write a blog post about this, and then
Some of them are.
So my next book is going to be called, I think, called Dear Gluten Dude, because I get a lot of emails that say, Dear Gluten Dude, I need this, and what do I do, and how do I do this, and I need advice, and
That was your favorite part, was the stories and the
Yeah.
asking for
Sharing
help
those
of people.
stories
Yeah.
was just,
it's really the best advice is really not about me, although I've lived a life, and I think I've done it after I learned my lesson in the first couple of years of how to treat my body. I do it right, but you'll get more out of reading other people's stories than my stories. You just will, because everyone has different challenges and different issues with their health and their family and this and that. So, so the next book, I got to reply to all the emails, which is but I'll do it in the book. I'm just saying.
Oh.
And
okay,
then
that's
there might
good.
be a third book. So I get a lot. I have a section on my website, glutendude.com, called Celiac Rants, and I let people just rant to me. And I might do a book on celiac rants, but that might just be an ebook.
Will Disney be able to send something in? Disney?
Why would they?
I don't know. I thought they had Cheerios?
No, I hear they do it really well.
Maybe Cheerios?
I've heard Disney does it well. I've heard Cheerios is awful.
Okay, we don't.
That's fine.
Let's keep it-
There's nothing.
No, another sponsored gun. That's okay.
There can't be any filter. So that's the one thing. So, but you heard this was a
No,
real moment
But
where
can't we
Miss
be
Gluten.
positive and focus on the
Yeah.
good?
We're being
instead of-
positive. Don't
No,
eat
but we don't-
Cheerios.
But we don't.
All right,
Okay.
hold on a second.
You know what?
His character is not someone that just focuses on the good.
No.
Otherwise, he'd be like carrying a fairy wand
I
and
know.
First of all, I'm
helping
not a
people.
character. I'm a real person.
No,
well,
you're,
very
No,
real
no.
about things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're all living a
but
character
I want to
life. We're all
focus on
characters
what
in
we
life.
can do, and
No, but you have to tell people what they shouldn't do. And I'm the only person. I mean, no, I'm not the only person.
Yeah,
but
that's-
Oh my God.
only person in the whole world that no. But there's listen. I think why and this is probably gonna be deleted. But I think
So
why,
you know it won't be.
Yeah. But I think why I'm screaming. No, I think why I stand out a little bit
No, scream.
because I'm the only person that talks about the disease itself and the realities of the disease. And in how many pages? 203.
203.
Yeah. I don't talk about food at all unless it's food you should probably
That's
avoid.
right. That's right.
I think the next book after those books should be what it's like to live with.
Yeah.
Or have like a section at least.
Are you going to write a book?
You know.
Well, then how's it going
Can I tell you something, Deb? You would actually be, forget the book. I say you do an entire video on living with.
It's hard.
That's what she said.
But there's so many people. Okay, can I ask you a question? Are there more people with celiac or more people without celiac?
Well, it kind of goes back to what Danny said about give this book to someone else because
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, how many people would want to hear like how to live, how to cope, how to survive, how to actually more than survive, how to thrive with someone with celiac?
it's hard.
Not just surviving.
I have to
thriving.
say,
That is
thank God.
totally it.
Exactly.
I am married to my best friend, and we
Wait, is he coming tonight? Because he should be on this
should be
video.
here any second.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
all
Scott,
kidding
get out of here.
All kidding aside,
Yeah,
we happen to
you like each other.
we like it.
You do.
Here we go.
Wow.
Well, Mrs. Dude is the best. So, yeah.
She is
Okay,
the- she-
so for
No.
$1.99, we'll show you the R-rated version of what happened next.
No, but the point is that life is hard enough, and there's so many stressors that
Yes.
come with life, and
Yes.
kids,
Fractures, yeah.
and all the things that happen, and then to deal with some of the health crises that we've had. Crises, is that a word?
Crises.
It is now.
Crises.
Right, crises.
Google's going to pick this up and
Crises.
run with it.
But food is like our joy. It's our life.
Yes.
It's spontaneous. I'm saying, God,
Oh, no.
no. So it's hard. It's
That's what she said.
Really?
I've done that 4
Three.
times tonight. I know.
It loses its impact after.
yeah. After the
That's what she said.
no, I'm just saying it's as hard as it is to be the one with the autoimmune with the disease.
Right.
To feel so isolated if you're connected with someone like that, it's hard. You can't just be spontaneous and say, yeah, we'd love
Yeah.
to go here for dinner. We would love to go to your house. We'd love to. It's
You know what, though? So my observation, it's a challenge, but it's an opportunity because I think it's made you a really strong person
I like
and
that.
an advocate for people that are living with celiac. Like I took a look at you when Danielle went into this journey in life. I took a look at you as a pattern. And I thought, can I be supportive in a way that I want her to be healthy and I want her to be safe? I got that from you. I patterned that after you. I didn't make that up as I went along. Oh. And for $2.99, you can see where this goes. It's gonna be $1 more.
A lot more than that, by
It's
the
gonna
way.
be $1 more because it's worth it. It's worth it. All right, we're gonna cut for a second.
Nice.
What did I do wrong?
Oh my